Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Spark webinar. I am Ashley Owens. We are so excited to have you today. We have two of our incredible folks from our customer success team. Dylan's going to be on chat support, rocking the mic in chat, and Emily is going to be walking us through the member report today. Hey, let's talk about some important things. See if I can get my button to go here. Don't forget, pickleball is important, right? And so we encourage you, if you are a pickleball facility, you should think about going to Mastermind. The next one's coming up in a couple weeks. We always send team members out there. They have like 10 clubs already signed up. So it keeps getting bigger and better, just the networking in and of itself. And then every month we get on a call with Devin and talk about all kinds of great things in the pickleball space. So that is a great opportunity. And then if you live under a rock, you hopefully will still know that Catalyst is back this year. Columbus, Ohio is next, Detroit, Michigan, Denver, Colorado. We're going to Toronto in August, and I may be planning like 4 more stops. So get excited. After I come off, I'll put the link to this in the chat and then you guys can check it out. We've reduced the price. It's $99. Bring your admins, bring your director, bring your front desk, bring your operations person, because it's literally a day and a half. The first half day is at a local club that will do 4 hours of best practice roundtable sessions. The one we did in St. Augustine, I mean, Dylan was there. He can agree. It was fantastic. So many great best practices that even I took away. And then the next day is a full day of training. We go through all the cool stuff in Court Reserve. So don't forget, we're all over the place. We're coming up. I see that this is old, but we are going to be at Racketex. So if you're going to be in Fort Lauderdale in a couple weeks, come see us. And we really are going to be at the Southern Annual Meeting because it got snowed out and it's going to be in April. So I'm really excited about that. Now, what I want to do though is I want to show you, if you are not aware yet, we have some really cool stuff going on. So let me bring back up public booking. How many of you know public booking is live? Public booking also includes waivers, and public booking, if you're on Stripe, now has Google and Apple Pay. Yeah, we did all that in a week. So we're so excited. You can go to this webpage. I will put this in the chat support. I can't even explain the clubs that turn on public booking. They are seeing an average of 24% of their court reservations are from public booking. How'd you like to fill 24% more court time, right? I mean, come on. All right. And then the next thing I want to say is you obviously know how to find our webinars. You just go out to courtreserve.com, you go to resources, you go to webinars. We've got some really cool ones coming up. Mastering Waitlist. We're going to have one with Patch in a couple weeks. We're going to be talking about court costs. But the one I want to point out is because this is near and dear to my heart. I'm starting a new it's called Courtside Conversations. We're going to take some of you guys and we're going to make you panelists for the things that you're good at. And we're going to have an hour best practice session. It is not about Court Reserve. It is all about, for this one, summer camp roundtable. It's going to be, how do you set up summer camps? How are you holding summer camps? How do you do your instructors? How do you do your moms, your dads, like everything to do with summer camps? And we've got some incredible, we got Isabella from Lifetime Activities. We got some folks from Build Inkers and also Alex from Hollow Rock Swim and Racket Club. So we're doing tennis, pickleball, country club, like you name it, we're going to talk about it. So Dylan and Emily, I don't really think there's anything else that I can talk about. So I think you guys are ready to go.
Just a little bit of housekeeping before we move forward. Tanya, I see that you said there's some echo going on your end. I'm not hearing that on mine. If anyone else is, feel free to put it in the chat, but I think we're mostly good. It might be something on your end, Tanya. And then if you have questions along the way, Emily and I are going to be handling, or I'm going to be handling those, but Emily will be answering them. And we will see if we have time during the teaching to handle those. If not, we're going to save those until the end of teaching. But we do ask that you just put them into the Q&A section instead of the chat before asking your questions. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Dylan. Hey, everybody. So excited to do this with y'all today. So we're going over the member report. And first things first, members report is always going to be your best report to gather a lot of information that you have on your players in your system. So we're going to go over basically from beginning to end all the different options that you see inside of it, ways that you can maneuver running the report and all of your report outputs, and then just going according to what would work best for you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Yep, I'm on the right one. Okay. So first things first, when you first open the report, number one, you go to Reports, Members. We have this section here. This is going to be your best place to begin. You could do it by selecting all of them. You have your currently active, suspended, and these are members that are manually suspended. Expired, meaning that they either have never paid their initial fee or they're past due on a billing cycle, or they just don't have a membership currently. You can go through this one. You can select all of the different memberships that you have. So if you're wanting to go and pull a report that you're looking for currently active, and you want to say you want to find all of your couple memberships, that's pretty much all you need to do to gather that information right there. We have upcoming membership, meaning this is something that is not yet started. It could be one that they have pre-purchased or you have assigned to them. And if they are just already part of that membership and you want, like they're part of a membership and they're not scheduled for anything else, do that there. Payment profile status, especially if you are doing auto pay on membership dues or you're doing batch billing. This is a great way to find out who has a payment profile and who doesn't. If you want to go and pull a list of all your males, all your females, and then if it says prefer not to disclose, I do not believe it's going to show up here. You can search according to family roles. So anybody who's in a family unit, like my lovely Dwight Schrute here, in his family unit, we have primary, then you have spouse. So you can sort according to that here. Amount due. This is to gather a quick overview if you want to make sure, okay, I want to see if anybody in my system owes currently more than $100. You would do it like that. Or if you want to say less than $100 or $1,000, like that, you would run it that way. Account credit works the same way of that. You can put in here how much you want to look at. Penalty cancellations. This goes according to what you have put into your general settings here of penalties that they can get from canceling a reservation within a certain time limit, or you just go and manually put that on their profile and you want to see how many penalty cancellations you have in the system. That's what you'd use. You can also sort and pull information according to your member groups here. If I did that for all of my Dunder employees, all of them who have a currently active membership, run the report, and it automatically pulls that for me. So that's a great way, especially if you have determined a certain group that you want to keep track of, use a member groups, a static member group, and then you can filter according to that group. Last login date is tracking from when the member last logged in on their own, and that depends with the desktop or the app. That will do that. Created date is the created date of their account specifically. So it goes either if you created them or if they created themselves. You could choose that to see, especially if you're wanting to keep track how many new accounts you've had like in a quarter. Let's say I wanted to track everybody who's joined since January 1st, almost to, let's say March 31st. Run it like that, and it's going to pull everybody who was created during that time span. Same thing here for payment profile. This would go according great with, if you do a has a payment profile, you could work that together here to see payment profile created when and from. Next payment date, this goes according to pretty much anything that they need to pay for. I think this might be membership specific. Pretty sure that's membership specific. First visit date, this goes according to the very first time they either had a reservation or an event. So together with created date from and then first visit date from. So if you wanted to see when they created their account, but then you also wanted to see when they first attended your club, that would be this one right here. Current membership, this would go together with your currently active. Same thing there. And a cancellation date. This would go for, actually, you could do that with currently active and then do that here. Again, if you wanted to see who all is scheduled to be canceled within a certain time. Reservation, event, start date and time. If you wanted to see everybody who has come or joined a reservation, from such and such date to such and such date there. If you have any custom ratings in your system, these will show up here and you can choose according to the rating types. So if you wanted to see everybody who's a 2.5, put that in there and it'll automatically pull anybody who has that in their details section. Same thing for the USTA and elite rating. Reservations types, this will pull anybody who's ever had any of these reservations, again, in a specific time frame. If you don't put any time frame inside of this section here, it's going to pull from the whole time that your club has been active. And same thing with lesson types, event categories, or you can get super specific and put in, let's say I had an open play, I think. Yeah, I can put in an open play there and it's going to pull all of those events from that open play, or everybody who was joined in that open play. And here also with the tags, any tags you've assigned to go with your events. Attended from, this is anybody who has come to your club and they have had their attendance marked, meaning you have either manually marked their attendance by going to attendance, add attendance here, or if you have a kiosk for self-check-in, if they scan their app and they come in, it's gonna mark them attended. Number of days attended is gonna be how, if you want to track how many times they've been to your club. If you want to see if there's anybody who's been there more than a certain amount of days, like somebody who's a really common visitor, you could track that. Or if you wanted to see anybody who is part of your club, but you don't tend to notice them, you could try and use this one to track how many times they've actually come and actually visited your club. Recurring fees, has not, pretty simple. Age, from and to, if you have that on your sign up form, this is a great way to track that, especially if you want to see, I think I've seen clubs who've done this, like to track certain age ranges, if they're going to be running camps, or if they have something like silver sneakers, they want to track, okay, who in my club is, I believe, ages 55 and higher. You could use that. Marketing text status. This would come specifically if you are running in your members bulk text. If you're shooting texts to them, it's not necessarily an automatic notification, because these are the ones that you manually send to them. And this is to see who is currently subscribed to that and who has unsubscribed. If they're pending, that means that they haven't actually logged in and chosen whether or not to opt in or opt out. Same thing here with the push notification. They have subscribed to push notifications with their app, or they have gone and said no to notifications. And it'll be the same thing here for system text alert status, also for the automatic notifications. So these are going to be your main filters, and these are going to be there no matter what. This is your main bread and butter for running that. But then along with that, depending on how many things you have set in your club, we have all of these report outputs down here. And this is where you can add even more customization to your report. Main ones that are always going to pop up first is going to be member, first name, last name. I have resorted this how I wanted to, which if you didn't know, click on this and you can begin dragging it up and down. So it's going to sort it according to how you want it to go. So if I'm doing this, I want to find member, first name, last name. I want to track their age, if they're in a family unit, email, current membership. I can run my report right now and it's going to pull all those items for me. And we'll see it goes according to the tags that you have put in your report output here. And you'll see it goes across like that. Beyond that, we have current membership, membership status to show if they are active or expired, account credit, amount due. So these also are going to go according with this up here. Payment profile type. So if they have a payment profile and you allow for both credit card and ACH, this is a great way to track who does credit card and who does ACH. Next payment date on their membership, when their current membership started, when it's going to end. Membership, upcoming membership information here of name, start date, frequency, and price, especially if you're doing something for the upcoming year and you want to get prepared to see how many people are going to be signed up for a particular membership that's beginning, let's say, May 1st, and you want to see if they're going to be signed up for the monthly or the yearly. If you're offering that, that's a great way to track that. Membership autopay, this is one that will be there or not be there depending on your integrated payment settings. So if you are a type of facility where you are not requiring automatic payment on your membership dues, you can go and track who has, when they purchase their membership, chosen to enroll in autopay. So let me show that here. In their information here, they have this option here to enroll in autopay. So if they enroll in autopay, this means that the system is going to automatically charge them if they have a payment profile, but if not, it's up to them to log in and pay that. Or if you're using batch billing, you can invoice them and do it that way. If you come into your integrated payments and turn on autopay membership dues, let me refresh that. Oh, admin panel. Okay, give it a second. Did I save it? Okay, now let's get back to that. Report. Okay, so now my enroll in autopay is no longer there because I have gone into the system and taken that away. So if you're using autopay membership dues, you will not be able to see that. If you do have that turned off, you're not, you will be able to track according to that. Continuing on from there, let's see. You can track penalty cancellations. If you are approving members, like it's a manual approvement, you can check who's approved, when they were approved, penalty cancellations. Oh, it has switched. 1 second. I had it. Interesting. Okay. Okay. It's gotten out of whack there. That's okay. We'll continue on. Yes. Okay. So along with that, you have, if you are wanting to track anybody who's unsubscribed from marketing emails or anything like that, this is a great way, especially if you're doing bulk email and you're sending out notifications to everybody and you get the notification dropped or it just doesn't send. This means that that player has purposely chosen to unsubscribe from marketing emails, so they're not going to get bulk emails. So this is a great way to track that. Same thing for the marketing text alert status. This goes together with this here. So if you're going to be searching here, you want to make sure you come down and enable that here. PIN code, if you're using access control, this is a great way, access control together with Brevo. This is a great way to track their PIN code. If they have a phone number on file, their information such as address, city, state, and whatnot. And then when you get down further, you can then begin to do a little bit more tracking. You have the number of reservations that they have had during their time span as a member, or according to whatever time range you've put in. Event registrations, if they have canceled reservations, event registrations and reservations, those are going to be a great way to track that. One thing we get asked a lot is if you can track how much people have paid, this is going to be the total paid here. And again, this goes according to whatever filter of time you've put in, but if you just don't put in any time range, this is going to grab who has paid the most in that time range. So I'll just go ahead and run that real quick. Since this is my system, it's probably going to be me. Let me get back to that. I don't have a membership. 1 second.
You have upcoming membership. There we go.
I have upcoming membership. That is correct. Actually, I don't on this one. I'm in the wrong system. Sorry, y'all. Got logged out and was in the wrong system. There we go. Okay. So let me make sure. Okay. So now let's get back to the members report. That's why it looked different. So let me find my total paid. All right. Now I can run that report. There we go. So it's going to automatically pull anything that you have currently assigned, but I also want to track total paid. And so the fun thing about these reports is that if you want to go according to that, but you want to gather all this information as well, what you can do is you can grab any of these headers and pull it into this section here. So if I want to sort according to total paid, move that into there, and it's going to automatically sort from lowest to largest, but you can flip it the opposite way. Actually, I believe we need to do this first. Hit it this way first, then we pull it here. Or not. I'll have to play around with that. But this would be how you get to see your total highest paid here. So it's going to show up in this column here or give you that amount right here. So if you want to track anybody who's done less than a certain amount, this would be what you do. Or if you want to see who are your highest spenders in that time frame, that would be what you do there. Continuing on with that, if you run Duper, can use that here. Again, with your club ratings or custom ratings, you have that option here. So these report outputs down here especially are going to go according to more information that you have put in here. And that is largely how you use the members report. So let's do a couple of example ones. So if I wanted to come in here and I wanted to see everybody who has, I'm going to go according to suspended. I want to see everybody who is suspended. All I have to do is select that here, pull their information here, and also their email just in case. I can run that report. And it's going to give me that information and who has been suspended. With this, you can do a few things further. You can automatically pull a marketing email here, or you can text them, send them a push notification, or you can create a new member group from what you've done here. If you want to pull it to a PDF or export to Excel, you can do that as well. That's a great way to track who has been suspended. If you want to pull anybody who's currently past due and you want to send them a reminder, pull that here, and it's going to pull the information here. If they have no email, this is going to be blank, which means if you try to do that, they're not going to be able to be contacted. If they're unsubscribed from text messages, let's see. We'll go ahead and pull subscribed as well. I don't have anybody subscribed for this, so now I don't have anybody to be pulled with that. So if you pull a report and you've put in a report filter, such as subscribed, it's not going to necessarily work that way. Or let me find that subscribed. There we go. Yeah. So I don't have anybody currently subscribed for text messages alerts because these are all fake players, but that's a great way to also track that. Let's see.
Emily, I have an example
Go ahead.
from a question. We have a member or an admin asking, can you please show how to identify people who have been at the club consistently or constantly for the past 2 to 3 weeks to identify them for potential membership offers?
Yeah, you definitely could. So if you're wanting to do that and they've specifically been at the club for the last week, let's say I'm going to track for the whole month like that. You would use your attended from and attended to. If you wanted to see how many days they've come, I wouldn't necessarily use that. It's going to pull this information here to show who's attended during that time. If you wanted to get more specific to see if they've had any reservations during that time and which ones they were here for, you would use that as well. And that would be the filters that I would suggest. Not necessarily these right here, but what you could do is, if you wanted to do anything with that, you could say, has no upcoming membership. And that way you could see if they're on a current membership. So I would suggest that type of thing to see the attended from, attended to, pull their name, email, and current membership start date. And that should be what you really want. Let's not do that. And that would pull anybody who has attended during that time, which again, I don't have anybody who has attended during that time, but that's what you would do in that situation.
Perfect. Do we have room for more questions?
We absolutely do.
Awesome. We have someone asking, how do I deselect filters that are automatically checked by default?
All you have to do really is when you run this, let's see, it usually pulls, I believe it's the first 10
Something
to
like that.
15, something like that. What I suggest if you want to start fresh, check all, uncheck all. And then you can go through and you can choose which ones you want specifically. If you want to do something um, to pull, like you've decided, okay, I know which filters I want to check on a quarterly basis, that is where I would suggest moving these up and down. So you can move them how you want to. Make sure you select them. So let's say I'm doing this and I want to have that along with that and that. That's what I want to check, and I want to check it every quarter. I wouldn't necessarily put in a date range here because you're going to check that every quarter. But if you select that and you come up here, you can hit Save Filter, put it however you want. So let's say we're going to do quarterly check. Then when you come into this report next time and you know what you want to run that report again, go into your saved filters, load that, and it's going to automatically have what you selected last time as part of that saved filter. And that would be pretty much what you do every single time. I've seen some clubs, they run like 10 different filters and they're going on a quarterly basis. They're wanting to check currently active, if they have upcoming memberships. If they do have upcoming memberships and then want to see which ones specifically, you can hit that. Let's say we want to check that. And then they want to pull this information. And that's pretty much what they do. Let's see. And upcoming. You can then check upcoming membership name, type, frequency, price. And if they're going to be on a family or individual membership, run that report. And it's going to pull that information here, showing you their name, upcoming membership name, when it's going to start, the membership frequency, and then how much it is, and if it's family or individual.
Awesome. We've got another question from Scott. Everyone, be sure to put in your questions if you have any. We don't have a lot of time left, but we'll try to get them answered. And if you do have any, feel free to reach out to the customer success team in the chat or via our email at support@courtreserve.com afterwards. But we do have this one here. Can you pull a count of memberships by type that were active by month over the past 2 years? I think the answer is no.
It doesn't necessarily give you a month-to-month breakdown. You could definitely check the active memberships and you can put in that time range of, let's see, I would say probably current membership start date from and to, but it doesn't necessarily give you a month-by-month view. If you wanted to do something like that, you could definitely run this to start with that and make sure you select the membership name, current membership, have that information here, which membership specifically you're wanting to look at and run that report. And when you run that report, you would then export that to Excel, and you could run this in either Excel or Google Sheets, and then you could do further filtering. We tend to recommend an option like ChatGPT or something similar to have it populate a formula to especially put that in there and further filter down so you can get a month-by-month view.
Awesome. Then the last question here, what is the best way to run a report for a specific skill group, let's say 3.5, to see how many times they play during specific time slots?
Specific time slots. You could definitely do that to a certain degree. So if you wanted to go according to a rating, so let's say I wanted to track all of my 3.0, I would do that there. I would put, let's see, reservation dates. If I wanted to do reservation dates starting January through today's date, I'd put that there. And this is going to pull everybody who has that. Make sure we come down here and select. You want to make sure if you're choosing a custom rating up here, you want to make sure you come down and choose that report output so that it actually populates. You could then see the number of reservations they've done in that time with that. member name. If you wanted to get specific to time slots, though, you could run this report together with the reservations report, and that would then pull the specific time slots that they were actually there for those reservations, because this is just going to give you a broad overview. I do not believe it's going to break it down into specific time slots. I unfortunately don't have enough data for that to pull. But your best, if you're looking for specific information for reservations, we always recommend reservations report, and you can tie that together with the members report.
There we go. Awesome. Emily, you have rocked it. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
If anyone has any follow-up questions, can you show them where they might look for information as far as the knowledge base in
Yes.
chat?
Yes. So let me log out and log back in because I don't see this in my current view. So no matter what, when you're in our system, you always have access to this live support here, and we have our new Rally AI, which you can ask a question 24 hours a day, and this is going to be your fastest route to get some information, because what this does is it's pulling off of our knowledge base, and the knowledge base is always there for you as well. So pretty much all the information you get from Rally is being pulled from here, and we're constantly monitoring the answers it gives as well to make sure it gives you the correct information. If we find anything wrong, we'll pull that ticket, shoot you a message to let you know, hey, that was incorrect. This is correct answer. But the knowledge base is going to be your best place to find information. So if you wanted more information about the members report, all you have to do is click this right here, which pulls up the knowledge base, and you can get the members report. If you want more information, it looks like we've had some updates to that. Here's more information together with that on total paid, last login date, or I can come to Rally and say, how would I run the members report? Gather all attendances for the last quarter. Can ask that. And then Rally is going to pull the information that we have put into the system with the knowledge base. Eventually. There we go. And it's going to give you that information. And one thing to keep track of, if you see these numbers, that is actually a direct link to the knowledge base article that it is pulling from. So if you feel like you need more information and you want to read it more in depth, all you have to do is click on that, and it's going to pull it up here for you like that.
Awesome.
And then we're also reachable at, I don't have a way to type it in here. Let me put it in here. Can always reach us also at email at support@courtreserve.com, and emails will come to us as well. You might get an answer from the bot, but if we see that it's something that a team member needs to handle, we'll make sure to snag it as well.
Awesome. Alrighty, I do see there's a couple more questions being asked in the Q&A section. Unfortunately, our time has been reached. So if you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out to us, how Emily's been talking to us, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.